Thermal drones don't hunt noise or movement first. They hunt heat. And for anyone who thinks hiding is just about digging a hole and throwing leaves on top, that mistake gets exposed fast. Long before drones filled the sky, World War II-era survivalists learned how to disappear in plain sight, not by running, but by managing heat like a weapon. That forgotten knowledge is what keeps you invisible when modern eyes are watching from above. If you value hard-earned survival truth over flashy myths, lock in now and subscribe before the algorithms forget what real preparedness looks like. Heat is the real giveaway. Thermal cameras don't see you. They see the heat leaking off you, bleeding into the ground, the air, and anything you touch. World War II-era ghost shelters were designed around one brutal truth. A human body is a heat engine that never fully shuts off. The smartest shelters didn't try to block heat outright. Instead, they slowed it, spread it, and disguised it until it blended into the environment. Why shallow shelters fail instantly? Digging deep feels smart, but depth alone creates a thermal hotspot. Warm air pools. Body heat saturates the soil. From above, that spot glows like a buried coal. Veteran survivalists learn to go laterally instead of vertically. Low-profile shelters just below the surface, paired with airflow channels, prevented heat buildup. The ground above stayed close to ambient temperature, which meant nothing unusual showed up when scanned. The power of thermal layering, it's pretty remarkable. Old ghost shelters used layers the same way winter clothing does. Not to trap heat, but to break its path. There'd be a thin air gap, then natural materials, and then soil on top. Fire was never built inside these shelters. That was, suicide. Instead, heat sources were offset. Small controlled fires burned several meters away, with shallow channels directing warm air underground before releasing it slowly across a wide surface. Body heat discipline. That's something folks sometimes overlook. Even the best shelter fails if the person inside doesn't manage themselves. Wartime manuals emphasized stillness, controlled breathing, and insulation beneath the body. Heat sinks downward fast. So, why do natural materials beat modern gear? Well, synthetic materials often trap heat a bit too efficiently. That might sound good at first, but once you think about it, all that warmth has to go somewhere. Back in World War II, ghost shelters were built using wood, earth, bark, ash, and stone because, they absorbed and released heat slowly. Timing actually mattered more than concealment. Experienced survivalists would move, eat, and rest according to temperature cycles. Dawn and dusk, for instance, masked heat signatures naturally. The midday sun created thermal noise, and at night, that demanded absolute stillness. Now, here's the biggest modern mistake. These days, preppers tend to overbuild. Too tight, too sealed, too insulated. And honestly, that just creates thermal pressure with nowhere to go. The old approach was controlled leakage, not total containment. Let heat escape, but on your terms. Spread wide, spread slow. Blend it into the background. That principle hasn't aged a day. Why this still matters now? Thermal drones aren't rare anymore. They're cheap, portable, and everywhere. The skills that once fooled aerial reconnaissance now matter at ground level, in wilderness survival, and in real-world crisis scenarios. History didn't leave us stories. It left us instructions. Ghost shelters weren't magic. They were disciplined engineering guided by experience paid for in blood. Learn the logic, not just the structure. Heat control is survival control. If this kind of no-nonsense history-backed survival knowledge matters to you, subscribe to History's Survival Code and share this with someone who still thinks hiding is just about being out of sight.